Agent Zero reporting in. Humans have done some strange things in war, but their animal choices? That's another level.
Number 10. War elephants. In the 3rd century BCE, the Seleucid Empire marched across the Middle East with a weapon most armies had never faced before. Massive war elephants. When they appeared on the horizon, soldiers weren't just surprised. They were terrified. The idea came from India, where elephants had been used in battle for centuries. They were symbols of royal power and tactical shock weapons. One charging elephant could scatter cavalry, crush infantry, and break enemy morale faster than any horse. But elephants were unpredictable. At some battles, several panicked, turned around, and trampled their own men. Commanders learned the hard way that these living tanks could win the day, or destroy their own army. Number 9. Military dolphins. In the early 1970s, the US Navy turned to dolphins for underwater military operations. Why? First, a dolphin can tell the difference between a mine, a rock, or even a fish in waters where robots get confused. Second, a trained dolphin can sweep a danger zone way quicker than most underwater robots, and at a fraction of the cost. Third, they don't just find mines, they guard submarines, locate lost equipment, and even detect enemy divers. Number 8. Fire oxen. Around 284 to 279 BCE, during China's Warring States era, armies thought they'd seen every weapon imaginable. But one commander Tun Nan faced a problem. The enemy cavalry was unstoppable, fast, disciplined, impossible to break head-on. So he tried something no one expected. He lit 1,000 farm oxen on fire and stampeded them straight into the enemy line. It worked. Chaos tore the cavalry apart. But this tactic had a deadly flaw. Once set on fire, oxen become completely uncontrollable. They might run toward the enemy, but they might also turn around and run back into your own troops. Number 7. Anti-tank dogs. During World War II, the Soviet Union created one of the strangest anti-tank weapons ever trained: dogs. The Red Army needed a way to destroy German tanks when they had nothing else, and dogs could move where soldiers couldn't. Once released, the dogs sprinted into enemy tanks, the only place where their explosives could do real damage. But the plan had a fatal flaw. The dogs couldn't tell friend from foe, turning the battlefield into chaos. Number 6. Exploding rats. World War II. Across occupied Europe, factories worked day and night, feeding the German war machine. British intelligence SOE devised a weapon so small, it would never be suspected: dead rats, packed with explosives. The plan was simple. When discovered, the rat would be thrown into a boiler or furnace, triggering a devastating internal explosion. Unfortunately, the rats were never deployed. The first shipment was intercepted by German authorities. But the idea alone was enough to spread fear, forcing factories to shut down and hunt for a weapon that might already be inside. Number 5. Fire pigs. By the ancient world, war elephants dominated the battlefield. They crushed infantry, terrified horses, and broke entire armies. But desperate commanders searched for one thing: a way to stop them. Ancient writers noticed a strange weakness. Elephants were extremely sensitive to loud, high-pitched squealing, and to fire. To exploit this, armies coated pigs in flammable oils, set them on fire, and released them toward the elephants. The screaming, burning animals sent elephants into blind panic. Terrified elephants often turned back, trampling their own troops. Brutal, desperate, and effective. Fire pigs became one of the strangest counters in military history. Number 4. Pigeon-guided missiles.
As you can see, the trajectory holds steady at Mach 0.7.
In the middle of World War II, as nations raced to build smarter weapons, American scientists explored a guidance system no one expected: pigeons. Psychologist B.F. Skinner believed pigeons could outperform early electronics. Trained through rewards, they learned to recognize enemy targets and react faster than mechanical guidance systems. The plan was simple. A pigeon was placed inside the nose of a missile. As the weapon fell, the bird pecked at the target image, steering the missile in real time. The tests worked. The pigeons were accurate, reliable, But military leaders couldn't accept a weapon controlled by a bird, and Project Pigeon was cancelled. Still, it might be the strangest smart weapon ever designed.
Look at the
Number
fusing
3.
mechanism here.
Bat bombs.
It's crude but effective.
In 1942, after Pearl Harbor, the United States searched for ways to strike Japan's cities. One proposal came from a dentist, and it involved bats. His idea? Strap tiny time delay fire starters to bats. Japanese homes were built largely from wood and paper. Bats, which naturally roost in buildings at dawn, could carry tiny incendiary bombs and start thousands of fires at once. The plan was terrifyingly clever. Bombs filled with hibernating bats would be dropped from the air. As the bats woke up, they'd scatter into buildings and ignite the city from the inside. The tests worked, but not safely. During one trial, bats escaped early and burned down part of a U.S. airbase. The project was eventually canceled. Number 2. Plague fleas. In early 1940s, Imperial Japan conducted secret biological warfare experiments in occupied China. The program was known as Unit 731. The fleas were packed into ceramic bombs and dropped over Chinese cities. When the bombs shattered, the fleas spread silently, and outbreaks followed. This wasn't a theory, it worked. Entire towns suffered plague outbreaks, and it proved something chilling. The deadliest weapons in war don't always explode. Number 1. Poison dart frogs. Long before modern weapons, deep in the Amazon rainforest, warriors discovered that the deadliest tool in war didn't roar. It barely moved. These frogs carried a toxin so powerful that a single touch could kill. But in captivity, their toxin fades when they're fed a simple, bland diet. Amazon warriors learned to harvest the poison directly from the frog's skin, using it to coat the tips of their blow darts. One dart, one wound. The toxin didn't need speed or force. Once it entered the body, there was no cure. This weapon didn't destroy cities, it didn't start fires, it didn't explode, but it turned a tiny frog into a silent executioner, making it one of the most effective animal weapons ever used.
Well, that wraps up the file. Tell me, which creature would you choose for a mission?